It's time for Oskaloosa basketball on your home for the Indians. 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and all over the world at RadioKMZN.com. Also on 104.9 FM KBOE and all over the world at KBOERadio.com. Oskaloosa versus Dallas Center-Grimes in boys and girls basketball is presented by Brown Shoe Fit Company, Fairway Stores, Mahaska Bottling Company, Mahaska Drug, Craig Ford, Slumberland Furniture, William Penn University, Bank Iowa, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Pella Printing, Wendell Campbell State Farm Insurance, The Satellite Guy, Pella Regional Health Center, Bruxford's Decorating Center, Community First Credit Union, Musco, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Penn Central Mall, Cloud Valve Company, Lighton State Bank, Dr. Tom Bowie, Robert Ald Investments, Hawkeye Real Estate, Gardner Collier Jewelry, Fred's Muffler Shop, and TD&T Financial Group. It's time for Oskaloosa to take on Dallas Center-Grimes in boys and girls basketball on the No Coast Network. 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and all over the world at RadioKMZN.com. Also on 104.9 FM KBOE and all over the world at KBOERadio.com.
All right, we're getting ready for the boys basketball game. Oskaloosa, Dallas Center-Grimes, DCG, 10-4 overall, ranked 8th in the AP poll in Class 3A, one of the top 10 teams in the BC More rankings in 3A. Oskaloosa 8-5 overall, 3-5 in the Little Hawkeye. Not ranked, the first team out of the rankings in the AP poll. Still hanging around in that AP poll, but they're 11th in the Class 3A in the BC More rankings as well. As this should be a tight ball game. We don't know exactly a whole lot about DCG. This is the one team in conference we have not seen yet. And these two teams are going to see each other twice in the next couple of weeks as they're going to have a makeup game in Oskaloosa in early February. But Doug, let's just start with it right off the bat. Oskaloosa's 3 conference wins have been as follows. At Pella Christian, at Indianola, at home against Pella Christian. Everything else, even though they've played a couple of teams real tight, real strong, haven't been able to come up with that big W that can kind of push them into the next level of competition for this team. What will it take on the road tonight to beat this Dallas Center-Grimes ball club?
Well, this would be a win that you could put down as a very good win. It'd be a road win, a tough place to come. You know, this is probably our longest road trip. But Oskaloosa is going to face a DCG team tonight that on defense really tries to confuse you. They will play an assortment of defenses. They'll play 2-3, 1-3-1, man. They'll face guard. It's just they try to confuse you. Oskaloosa needs to just play ball. Get the ball and go. Find an open area and go. Our skill level should be good enough that we can get to the basket. We got to attack the basket when we get numbers. So Oski's got to just, instead of thinking so much, just react and go, and hopefully limit the turnovers. This DCG will be a very, I think they'll be a good opponent tonight. They're a good team.
Yeah, we'll see what they have. They've kind of fallen on hard times after what I believe to be a completely unrealistic start to the season for them. Everybody kind of thought when we found out Trey Washington, who's probably the best athlete in the school, he decided early on football was a sport he was going to chase after. He's a senior this year and kind of just wanted to put all of his eggs in that basket, so he's skipping out on playing basketball this year. He's an excellent athlete, but this team, I think, had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder under head coach Joel Rankin to prove they didn't need him out there if they were going to be competitive. And guess what? They absolutely have proven that as much. They are currently 5-3 in maybe the toughest conference in the state of Iowa, regardless of class. They're still in the AP poll after having really no expectations to finish any higher than 6th or 7th in this conference. But they have kind of come back down to earth a little bit, having lost of their 4 losses. They've all come in the last few weeks. So, John, I have to say this. What is momentum play here? As Oskaloosa has had a hard time closing out really close ball games, especially within this conference. But DCG kind of coming back down to earth the last couple of weeks. Maybe a better situation for Oski to play them than when they were red hot earlier this year.
Oh, definitely. I don't think there's really a ton of momentum for either team, as Oskaloosa coming off a tough loss to Grinnell by 4 points and DCG losing 4 of their last 5. Oskaloosa, though, I believe, is lucky that that game against DCG earlier in the season got snowed out, because I would much rather face the current DCG Mustangs club than the one that was going on back when that game got snowed out before Christmas break.
Yeah, they were as hot as anybody, and we were all just kind of trying to figure out what the heck happened. We were not expecting that at all. But I agree with you. But if any team is probably hungry for a win, they can kind of taste hanging around at this top of this conference. And now that we know kind of the districts, you know, when you look at Dallas Center-Grimes and what the district look like in Class 3A, they have to feel pretty solid about where they went, because Ballard is a solid ball club, Gilbert, but none of these schools have a Little Hawkeye to compete in. Oskaloosa has the same story. They did not get stuck with any Little Hawkeye teams. Sub-State 2 is where DCG is. Oskaloosa is in with South Central and Southeast Conference teams, which I think they would rather like, but they both schools were kind of sweating the Norwalk, Grinnell, Pellas of the world if they would have landed there, and they dodged all of them. Does that take a little bit of weight off these teams, Doug, as you get closer and closer to the end of this season? Because now you know exactly what teams you're going to have to get through to get to state, and they don't have to worry about any of those top, highly touted teams in Class 3A.
I don't think so, Emery. I think you know what teams are there, but you don't know where you're seated. The seedings come out. I'm not sure if it's February.
I think they got 2 weeks.
They got 2 weeks, so they need to continue their resumes. Oskaloosa, realistically, with a win tonight, can probably guarantee themselves a 3 seed. If they keep winning and win a couple, they could possibly jump into the number 2 seed behind Mount Pleasant. So it is important to keep winning and playing well.
Yeah, we would imagine Mount Pleasant's kind of got that 1 seed sewn up by now, just based on wins and losses. But if you're Oskaloosa, all you can do is play well and try to improve your status. You'd much rather face Mount Pleasant in a sub-state final for a trip to state than have to see them potentially in, you know, you could fall as far as a 4 seed depending on how the other teams play. Sheraton's a solid ball club as well. They've got a lot of wins on the year out of the South Central. Not the highest ranked team in the BC Moore rankings, but when you go off wins and losses, they've won plenty of games with Lim Chul leading the way after Derek Lang and TJ Hawkinson graduated, so you can't take anything off them either. Let's get to the starting lineups here tonight. First for the visitors from the Oskaloosa Indians, it will be the same 5 pretty much we've seen all year long. It'll be Spencer Tucker. He's a junior. He'll be running at the guard position along with Tanner DeCock. He is also a junior. Jack Moore, a senior, going to be at the wing. And you got sophomore Cole Henry and junior Jared Cruz up front for the long and athletic Oskaloosa Indians. For DCG, they're going to be running out there with Jack Dewey. He is a senior. He's going to be out there along with junior Tanner Eppel. No, my mistake. He's out there with Trevor Grove, a senior. Also out there is Steve Borneman, another junior. They're out there with Brody Clean, a senior, and Trent Pride, a senior. So you look at those names, you're like, who are these guys? Because there's not a lot of names that you recognize, but Doug, sometimes that gives you that gigantic boulder on your shoulder because you just want to prove everybody wrong, and that's exactly what this team's done. Even though they are on a little bit of a cold spell, you're not going to be able to take them lightly by any means, and you need to learn a lot because these teams are going to be roughly the same barring injury when they see each other again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, DCG's favored tonight. DCG is a very good team. They just find a way to get it done.
John, quickly, on the court, what does Oskaloosa have to do mentally to give themselves an opportunity to get a road win here tonight?
I think it all starts with getting the ball down low, getting to our very talented bigs, Jared Cruz, Cole Henry, Xavier Foster. I think Cole Henry's big tonight. If he can get a couple of the shots that have been not falling for him lately to fall, put up another 8 points for the Oskaloosa Indians, you know, that could be the difference between winning and losing.
Got a big crowd here. This is much more full than I remember this gym being last year or the year before that, while DCG was kind of, they were a factor, but they weren't necessarily a top 10 team. Obviously, Oskaloosa travels well. They bring a ton of people. They have these kind of underneath the basket bleachers where the students have kind of migrated from their normal spot where they have it marked here. But
it's a little bit of a big-time feel with the people behind the basket.
What I think is really fun, though, here, Doug, is the fact that with a school like this, you can just kind of see the growth. It's actually tangible. Some schools say, hey, we've grown, you know, we have like 100 more kids than we had 5 years ago. Well, DCG's in a spot we're saying we got like 70 more kids than we had last year, you know, as fast as people are starting to move into this community. So it's going to be exciting because this is a big gymnasium, and they're getting closer and closer to filling this thing up on a game-to-game basis.
Number 4, Trevor Grove's the guy to watch for Dallas DCG. He grew 7 inches. He was a guard last year. He's now like 6'7".
That's not bad. And the tip is won by Oskaloosa, and into the front court is Spencer Tucker. Tucker and the Indians wearing their maroon uniforms trimmed in white, white numbers front and back. Oskaloosa across the chest in white, shooting at our right basket.
And right away, DCG comes out face guarding Spencer Tucker, and they're basically running a 2-2 zone in the middle.
Yeah, it is Jack Dewey who is the man who is face guarding Tucker. Here's Henry, left post. He gets it over to DeCock. DeCock on the drive, gets it out to Moore. Moore lost it, but got it back. Finds DeCock right wing. Trying to get it to Moore down low. He's got it, rises and fires, leaves it short. The rebound loose. Collision there, and the ball is given by Trent Pry. That was a big collision in there, but nobody worse for the wear. And it's DCG basketball wearing white uniforms trimmed in red, Mustangs across the chest. Guys, they are Mustangs now, not Phillies, and they're shooting at our left basket. Outside, get it over to Borman, and there's going to be a foul away from the ball. There's more kind of hanging on the side of Trevor Grove as he was trying to cut into the middle of the paint.
And Oskaloosa needs to, I hope they recognize right away, these guys are going to call any hand checks, holding, anything. They're very tight on that.
Got to make that adjustment if you're the Indians. The inbounds pass from Borneman is tipped by Cruz out of bounds. It'll stay down here with the DCG Mustangs under the tutelage of head coach Joel Rankin.
Oskaloosa going with a man underneath the basket here.
Inbounds pass comes to Brody Clean, lobs it up for Borneman. He's underneath the basket, no angle, and Cruz an easy block. Rebound Tucker. Quickly ahead, Tucker gives it to DeCock. He dribbles into the middle, gives it to Cruz. Cruz will drive baseline left side, cut off nicely that time. And we'll get it to Henry. Henry's going to go into the paint, left-handed hook shot, long, and the rebound pulled down by Moore. In traffic, no foul call, trying to get the rebound, and eventually Borman is going to get it, and he's going to run for the Mustangs. He's going to get about 10 feet. Tough shot off the glass, no good. Dewey, and it's blocked by Cruz again. My goodness. Rebound, though, by Brody Clean, and the Mustangs will reset. That's 2 blocks for Cruz. Long three buried by Trevor Grove on the pull-up, and it's 3-0 DCG, a minute and a half in.
And that's the guy I said we got to keep an eye on. He was a guard. He can shoot from the outside. He's just grown a lot the last year.
Here is Jack Moore. They rotate it around. Here is Cruz, right wing. To DeCock, top of the key. Gets it to Tucker. Tucker guarded by Dewey. He's going to be all over him all night long. Here's Moore. Moore, not a three-point shooter. He does not prefer that game these days. Here is DeCock, right wing. He dribbles to the top, guarded by the much longer Grove. Gets it to Henry, top of the key. Gonna put it on the deck. Now he's gonna drive, cut off, spin move, leaves it nicely for Moore and a lay-in.
Nice job by Henry finding the open man. DCG isn't a man-to-man defense. They're just face guarding Spencer Tucker all over the court.
3-2, DCG the lead. 5.5 to go here in the first quarter. A good offense possession for the Indians. Traveling violation by Grove as he lifted that pivot foot before he put it on the deck. First turnover for either side so far here in the game.
DCG sitting back. It looks like we'll see if they stay in their man-to-man. They like to switch defenses a lot. They may go into a 1-3-1.
Tucker will dribble it up the floor for the Indians as they get into their offense.
And
Here's
they're
Moore.
still in a man.
Moore well outside the arc, gets it to Henry, over to Cruz. Cruz to the top, DeCock, catch and shoot 3 from the top of the key, off the mark, long rebound out of bounds, and it will stay with Oskaloosa. The one thing that I think is interesting, Jack Moore I still think has the range from 3. If in the scouting report, they're going to say he's not a shooter, but now they're going to adjust the call and give it to DCG after a little bit of a discussion. But the thing I think with Jack Moore, Doug, is the fact that I think he could start unleashing some shots, and he'd get some open looks because nobody's guarding him outside the arc anymore.
Yeah, and Jack, the last week, 10 days, he has been shooting the ball outside more than what he did earlier in the year.
Inside is Clean, working on Cruz. Tough shot, a nice hook shot over Cruz. And there's not a lot stopping you can do there from Jared Cruz. 5-2 here for DCG. Into the front court of the Indians. Here's DeCock. He'll pull it back out.
Boy,
gets it over to Henry, top of the key.
Grove is long with those arms.
Here is Cruz. He's going to wheel in. Tough shot off glass, no good. Moore, the weak side attempt for the rebound, but taken away that time by Borneman, and he'll hustle ahead. No numbers for him, but he will drop it off Grove. Reverse lay and gets it to go, and he's fouled. Wow. I mean, that was a tough shot. While he drew the contact, he's got 5. The foul is whistled on Cole Henry. That's his first, team's second, but man, Trevor Grove, he just kind of looks weird out there how long he is.
But he is. His arms are almost dragging on the ground, but he
makes a free throw.
He can play.
That was a heck of a finish next to the rim. That probably didn't hurt them at all, him growing this big.
No.
4:20 to go in this first quarter, 8-2 DCG. Here's Cruz, and they're going to call a blocking foul as Clean was trying to, not Clean, my mistake. Pride was trying to run with Cruz as he was wheeling in. First foul on Pride, and the first team foul for DCG. Underneath the rim, here is Tucker to inbound, gets it to Henry. Up fake on Clean, working on him in the post. Double team now, goes up, tough left-handed hook, but he gets it to go. That's his game.
Well, he was determined to score there. I was going to say he looked like he might force it, but he got it to fall. Nice shot from the left baseline by Henry.
Bourneman is running the point. It's almost like Dewey is solely out there. This is maybe the second time he's touched the ball all game long, and he gives it right back. He's only out there to guard Tucker. Here is Clean, about a 15-footer. Gets the roll. Brody Clean now with 4.
DCG gets the friendly bounce. That looked like it might trickle off the front.
Here's a kick out. DeCock thought about the 3. They're picking him up all over the floor. Here is a spin move, and Henry travel. See, every time he kind of puts his back to the basket, there's a second or third body that comes to him, and it's kind of tough to finish. He did a good job finding more on the cut, but that's not going to be easy for him in the paint.
Well, sometimes he puts his head down, his eyes go down, and as he does that spin move, you can see him setting up for it, and he puts his eyes down. Just needs to keep his head up a little bit on his moves.
Trent Pride exits. Jordan Humphreys into the game for the first time for the Mustangs. Here's Dewey to Humphreys. Humphreys back to Dewey. Dewey will dribble to the top, and he'll leave it for Bourneman. Bourneman running the point here for DCG. He'll get him into the offense, gets it to Clean. Clean on the drive. Nice lead for Humphreys. Good team basketball by the Mustangs.
Well, Jared Cruz has got to do better on the defensive end there. It was a little dribble drive handoff, and Jared was just slow to the ball.
Inside, Jack Moore, a wild shot, looking for contact. Rebound, Trevor Grove. Here are the Mustangs once again. Humphreys outside, gets it to Dewey. 12-4 DCG, 2:45 to go in the first quarter. To the top. Get it over to the left wing to Bourneman, who drives, gets to the high post, gets it to Dewey. Dewey an up fake, kicks it out to Clean. Cruz daring Clean to shoot, he will not. Instead gets it to Grove, he drives on Moore. Tough shot, and Moore picks up the foul. He's so gangly, it's seriously, his fingers are almost touching his knees without bending over.
Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like it. His arms are incredibly long.
First free throw up, and he won't get the roll this time. No good. But you mentioned sometimes a kid just has to grow into his body. The way his body looks now, you almost have to feel like he's got even more growing to do.
Oh yeah, he looks like a middle school kid. Body-wise, it's 6'7".
And he hits the second. 7 points for him here in the early going. 13-4, 2.5 to go in the first quarter. DCG with a 9-point lead. Oskaloosa having trouble in the half-court offense. Here's Cruz. Cruz gets a screen, and they're going to call a hand check foul on the dribble. I believe this is Humphreys. That is his first, team's second. We only have 5 total fouls here, almost 6 minutes into this game, Doug. It's not been too bad.
Not too bad.
Into the game for the first time here for the Mustangs, Tanner Eppel. He is a junior. He'll replace Dewey. Dewey had the task of covering Spencer Tucker all over the floor, and it looks as though that is what Eppel will be asked to do here. Ryan Yates in the game also for Oskaloosa. He inbounds, gets it to DeCock, back to Tucker to set up the offense. 2:15 to go in this first quarter, 13-4 DCG.
Oskaloosa looks a little confused on offense now as Yates checks into the lineup.
Here's Tucker. Tucker dribbles to the right wing. He'll fire a 3 on a pull-up, leaves it short. Long rebound, falls into the arms of Eppel. Eppel, nice catch with one hand by Humphreys, but he'll slow it back down with Yates on it. They rotate it to Bourneman. Rotate it, Grove, long 3 left wing. Leaves this one short. Rebound tipped. Tucker eventually will come down with it for the Indians. Gets it to Cruz, 2-on-2. Loses the handle, runs over a man, no call. And the rebound loose, and it'll go to DCG. What about that tight officiating, or not?
Well, Jared just tried to force something there. Yeah,
he got lucky. That wasn't a charge.
Yeah, that wasn't a charge. Or that was
a charge. That was not called.
He got a break there. No call on it.
Well, they put up a foul on the scoreboard just now on Cruz. I don't know why, because that wasn't the call. Regardless, we'll have to check in on that.
Well, I thought it was an out of bounds.
It was. They called it out of bounds. There was no foul call. As Grove on the drive, no good. Cruz the rebound. That's just the scoreboard made a mistake. Anyways, quickly ahead, here's DeCock. after Tucker's pass, and there's going to be a little hip check before the pass, which found Henry wide open. It's actually a break for DCG. It stopped what would have been a wide open layup.
Oskaloosa to get a little transition game going there. I think that's one thing they need to do.
Tyler Cooney picked up the foul, his first team third. 1:22 to go first quarter. Here's Cruz in the post. Tries to kick it out, has it knocked away, stolen by Bournemouth. Bournemouth will hustle all the way. Tough lane, won't get it to go. The rebound pulled down by Cooney. Finds a cutter, and they have nowhere to go with it, so they just lob it out to Grove. But he loses it, and it's stolen by Tucker, and he's going to drive all the way down the floor. Left-handed layup is good.
Nice job by Spencer picking up the loose ball and putting it in. The Indians trail 13-6.
Inside of a minute to play. 7-point deficit. Mustangs with the basketball, looking to try to get those points back after the turnover. Mid-range, Cooney picked up the pivot foot, and he'll give it right back.
See that all the time here lately in high school basketball, that pump fake into the dribble, and sometimes they forget to dribble early, and that traveling call's been called a lot.
Well, they get a pivot foot established, and then as they start to dribble, they move that pivot foot first is what they're doing, and that's a travel.
13-6, Oskaloosa gets it. Now they move to trap half-court defense. Ball tipped away, but it gets to Tucker. Tucker steps into a wild three, no good. And then a lot of contact on the rebound. DeCock, like a wrecking ball, came in and took out two Mustangs, and will get called for the foul on the rebound.
So DCG finally goes to their little 1-3-1 half-quarter trap. They slid into it. They'll slide in and out of things.
Yeah, that's with the long arms. Grove not on the floor now. He was subbed out, but when you got as much length, a trap is really effective. 30 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Here's Bournemouth, drops it off for Clean, and it looks as though they'll wait for the next 23 seconds out and try to take one shot, leading 13-6 here in the first quarter. Bournemouth has a little three-man weave. 15 seconds to go now as he steps across the volleyball line in the front court. Here is Bournemouth, gets a screen. Now he'll drive, but they're going to call a hand check foul. Who's that on? Yates potentially. It is. Yates just kind of, it was a strong hedge and got called for putting two hands on him. That's his first team foul. There's 6 team fouls on the scoreboard. They also have that foul still on Cruz. We'll have to mark that because they did not whistle a foul on this end when that happened. They said it was an out-of-bounds play, but we'll have to check on it. 5 seconds to go. Here is an up and under, and that's got to be a goaltend.
No, that ball wasn't even going to get to the rim.
Yeah, but it was still on the way down. You can't jump it.
It's got to be able. It was short of the rim by 3 foot.
And they will count it. I mean, by the eye test, obviously, it's an awkward-looking play with 0.2 of a second, so it'll count a bucket for Bournemouth. And there's no chance to do anything. Tucker will still fire it down the floor into the student section, and that'll end the first quarter. But Coach Parker, now he's on the floor, and he's asking about that call. But that's the end of the first quarter. 15-6 is the score. We'll head to the second after this quick break. You're listening to the Game of the Week in Oskaloosa Basketball on the No Coast Network.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
15-6, DCG with a lead over Oskaloosa. A little bit of a interesting call on that goaltend. Eye test, fellas, absolutely looked like it was a goaltend, but to Doug's point, it did look like it might have been short. It's tough to tell, but just the eye test, when you see a goaltend, that looked like a prototypical goaltend. I'm playing devil's advocate here, of course.
Right. I mean, he went up for the shot, and it was late. Of course, Xavier's 6'9", and he jumped up, so they called the goaltending. Actually, I'm not sure that was the underneath referee's call, because he should be looking down at the floor. That would actually be the call from the judge away. So I'm going to stick with I didn't think it was a goaltend.
All right, well, we're going to start second quarter of basketball. 15-6 DCG. They have the lead in the basketball. Here is Brody Clean. Clean working on Foster. He'll shoot it over the top of him. Can't get it to go. Rebound Cruz. Here's Tucker. It's Tucker, Yates, Cruz, Foster, and DeCock. The same 5 that ended the quarter. Here's Yates outside. Cross-court pass finds Cruz in the corner. Cruz now will drive, working on Cooney, kicks it out. Yates buries a three from the right wing.
Beautiful shot by Yates. Good job by Oskaloosa moving the ball around.
Yates is a shooter.
And that was a weird defense. It looked like they was going to be in a half-court trap. They dropped back into man-to-man.
7:19 to go in the first half, and there's going to be contact. I think Foster got clean ball, but Yates also there. It looked like he picked up the foul. See what the call is. Nope, they're going to say Xavier. So that's one on him. 7th team foul. They still have 7 on the scoreboard. I think it's 6. They also have a foul on Cruz on the scoreboard. I clearly saw them not call a foul, call it out of bounds in the first quarter, so we have to keep an eye on that and see if that, I mean, it may not end up making any difference, but we'll see. This was a 2-shot foul anyways here for Jordan Humphreys. The first one is good. I mean, it may not make a difference. Who knows? Second one, no good. Rebound to Foster. Full court pressure now shown by the Mustangs. Here's DeCock, dribbles into the front court, finds Xavier, up and under, and it's blocked. And then a jump ball. It'll stay with Oskaloosa, but I don't think Xavier's used to seeing about a 8.5-foot wingspan for a guy like Trevor Grove, who, I mean, he finally sees a kid that has arms as long as his are. Inbound comes to Xavier. It's Cleanness working on him here. And then he drops it off for Yates. Back to Tucker. Tucker guarded by Dewey, about 30 feet away from the hoop, and he'll set the offense up inside of 7 minutes to play second quarter. 16-9 DCG. Foster comes and gets it top of the key, faces up, gets it to Cruz. Cruz wanted to get it to Yates. Instead, it goes over to the top of the key. Long on the three-point shot. Xavier Foster working with the rebound, knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay, or go to the Phillies rather. That was DeCock on the three, and it's a good look.
You just got to knock those down. I mean, eventually they're going to have to hit some shots from out there.
16-9 is the score. DCG still with the lead. 6.5 to go in the first half. Bornman over to Clean, guarded by Foster. To the top, Humphreys, then to Dewey. Dewey dribbles to the top of the key, guarded by Tucker. Not really an offensive guy is Dewey. They eventually rotate it back to the top with a weave. Clean, left wing, long three, no good. Rebound, and there's going to be an over-the-back foul on the rebound on Bornman. That's going to be his first. 6:10 to go in the first half, 16-9 DCG.
So we got a 7-point deficit here. Oskaloosa has not, offensively, is still struggling. They got a little hangover. DCG in their 1-3-1 half-court press here.
DeCock doesn't want to cross the timeline until he absolutely has to. Gets it to Tucker, who does cross the timeline, lobs it over for Yates. Yates, a skip pass, finds DeCock. DeCock drives, and they're going to call a charge. Was a lot. That's Dewey with a little bit of embellishment there, but any time with a tight, I mean, you called it before this game even started, a tight officiating crew, and you see the arm up, you see a guy fall over. I mean, you can't put it in the hands of the officials. DeCock and Tucker, for the first time each, will exit the game, and it'll be Andy Sterner and Tucker Nenikov and a couple of the Rat Pack into the game for the first time. We haven't seen these two out there together for a long time.
No, it's been a while, so we'll see how they do here.
They are the backcourt along with Yates. It is Foster and Cruz, the bigs. Here is Grove, finds some space. He'll go on the drive, working on Cruz. Good defense by Cruz. Kicks it out. Dewey right wing for three. Buries it. I just got done saying he's not much of an offensive threat, but right there he buries the open look, and it's DCG by 10, 19-9. Foster from the left corner. He answers with a three of his own.
Oh, nice three-pointer by Xavier. Deep in the corner, and Oskaloosa needed that basket bad.
19-12. The team exchanged triples. 5:08 to go, second quarter. A little weave action gets Borman the basketball at the top, over to Clean outside the arc. Lobs it over to Grove. He'll take a three left wing. No good. Rebound Yates. And he'll push it up. Yates will get a chance to run some point guard here with Tucker on the bench. Here's Cruz. Dribbles in. Kind of got bottlenecked there as Foster was on the drive. He ends up having to pull it back out. Here's Yates with it, and they're back into a trap zone. Here's Sterner, outside left wing, back to Yates.
And they're in this, they like to come and trap.
Here's Foster. Foster thinks about a skip pass, instead gets it back to Yates, who goes in, a little floater from 12 scores.
Great job by Ryan Yates, attacking the paint, hitting the little floater for the Oskaloosa as they pulled it within 5.
19-14, DCG with the basketball. Look at the drive, but a block by Foster. The drive that time by Boardman. Foster not having it. It'll be Cole Henry who will come and grab Jared Cruz. Boardman will also exit. Pride re-enters. Foster's first block. He's among the block leaders in the state despite being on a minutes restriction for most of this, but clean on a catch and shoot. Hits from 15. It's a good look. In the front court here, the Indians, that trap zone still in effect. Here's Nunnikov and finds Sterner on the cut. Lobs it for Xavier, but it wasn't a good lob. And it'll be Grove who'll get credit for a steal. It's just the third Oskaloosa turnover. Here is a clean all the way and left it short. I think he was surprised to be that open, but Foster throws it away to Dewey. A lot of stuff going on wrong there for the Indians. I'll get it back out to the top. And Dewey will dribble it back out, gets it to Pride right wing. Pride underneath. Tough shot by Grove, no good. And Sterner had the rebound, and they're going to call a foul on Grove. His first. Sterner will mix it up down low for a smaller guard at 5'11". He's not going to be afraid to get in there with the big boys and try to bring down some boards.
No, Oskaloosa got a little bit of a break there. It was a back cut, and they missed the bunny, and Sterner was in good position for the rebound.
He comes out, Tucker re-enters, 3:32 to go. Coach Parker looking for some more offense here as the Indians kind of struggling, 21-14. Yates has got it, gets it across the timeline. Clean exited on that last dead ball as well as that ball tipped, still loose, and it's out of bounds to Oskaloosa. Off of Grove on the tip. 18 fouls on the scoreboard on Oskaloosa, 5 on DCG, 3:21 to go in this second quarter.
I really like what Ryan Yates is doing on the offensive end. Not only is he scoring, but he's taking the ball into the paint.
Well, he's making that zone move around a little bit. He thought about the three, instead gets it to Foster, and that's a bad pass. He was in the middle of deciding to shoot or pass, and then ends up throwing it right to Grove. Grove into the front court, gets it to Eppel, kicks it out to Grove, top of the key three, no good. Henry the rebound. He'll dribble it up himself. He's got these kind of guard skills, as does Foster. Gets it to Tucker, thought about the three, instead gets it to Yates. Yates right wing, finds Henry. Henry working on Dewey, mismatch. Lost the handle though as he tried to find Nunnikov, and Foster picks it up, fires from deep, no good. The long rebound still loose, and eventually comes down to Humphreys. Lobs it ahead, Dewey. Foster back, blocks it. An easy block, out of bounds. It'll stay with DCG as Foster tipped it out of bounds.
Humphreys Cadillac it down there. He didn't know anybody was coming, and the X-Man was lurking behind, and he just swatted it away.
Well, I can tell you this, he was sizing that thing up as soon as he got to half court.
Yeah.
2:37 to go first half. Mustangs basketball, 21-14. He's a blocks machine when he's out there. And there's nobody except for Grove, who's primarily a perimeter guy, even close to his size out there. His man actually trickles outside and hits a three in his face, and that's Tanner Eppel. Timeout Oskaloosa. We'll keep it here. Johnny, we talk about it a lot. Oskaloosa kind of gets some weird mismatches just because of the size they have over the other teams, and that time a lot of quickness from Eppel leads to the three-pointer.
Yeah, definitely. He got wide open because of a defensive breakdown for Oskaloosa. Gets the three-pointer to go. DCG shooting the three pretty well here earlier in the game. You saw a couple threes from Grove earlier, and so that's something to look out for. Part of the reason they have a 10-point lead.
They're about right on par with the way Oskaloosa shoots it all across the board. Moski just a little bit better in free throw percentage and fractionally better in three-point percentage, but overall both teams know how to put it in the basket. They've taken advantage of other teams. DCG's a much slower paced team than the Indians are, but you wouldn't know that by the score of this game. Out of the timeout, it's Oskaloosa basketball.
And if Ryan takes it, there you go, take it right up in there.
Gets it to Henry, free throw line. Henry backs in and then kicks it out to an open Cruz. Nobody near him for three, in and out. Rebound Grove. Excellent look, everything was good there, just couldn't finish. Quickly ahead, it's Cooney in the front court. Gets it to an open Eppel. He'll shoot a three after a gathered dribble, no good, thought about it too much. Rebound Henry. Should have just taken the first shot. Inside 2 minutes here in the first half. Henry behind the back dribble, gets it to Cruz. Cruz now goes on the drive, poked away from behind, and they're going to get a chip foul on Eppel trying to steal it from behind.
Yeah, Henry did a better job there, if you notice, with his eyes up, dribbling the ball. He was able to kick it out to Cruz. He started to drive and got fouled.
Yates looking to inbound, gets it to Cruz, right wing. Lobs it to the free throw line. Henry will take that shot right there, a little long, and the rebound comes to Trent Pride. I can tell you this, they're getting good looks. They're just not going in, much like we saw against Grinnell.
Yeah, and they are, by face guarding, what we're talking about is Spencer Tucker's defender does not even look at the ball. He just looks at Spencer.
Grove finds Pride. They kick it out to Humphreys. Humphreys over to to Grove, working on Nunnikhoven. Good defense. Pride will set up a three. Ugly looking jump shot. No good. Humphreys rebound over Tucker. And then Tucker's going to get called for a foul, I believe. And it'll be a 1-and-1 because it occurred before the shot.
And Doug, you mentioned that Spencer Tucker's getting face guarded. It seems like every time he gets any daylight at all, he's trying to launch up a three just to get on the board. He's shot a couple errant, wild-looking three-pointers thus far in the game.
Nunnikhoven exits. Jack Moore enters for the first time in the second quarter.
Spencer is working hard. He's running around, but the guy's it's just like he's glued to him.
Yeah, whether it's Dewey or it's Epple, as the front end of the 1-on-1 is good here from Humphreys. I mean, they've kept him fresh. When Epple starts kind of wearing down defensively, Dewey comes into the game to take that spot, and they just kind of go back and forth, and they've done a good job. Tucker does have 2 points in the game, but that was on a breakaway layup. Makes them both, does Humphreys. He's got 5 off the bench. He will exit. Bornman back into the game.
DCG out to a 12-point lead at 26-14 with 1:23 left. Oskaloosa needs to answer the bell right here.
It is Tucker. Tucker burns into the front court. Kind of caught Cooney off guard. Here's Henry, and he's fouled. A reach-in foul is, again, kind of chippy as Epple reaching in from the top. And that is going to be a 1-and-1 here for Henry.
And we definitely need to hit these free throws.
Nothing else is going in, so a second foul on Epple. Epple will exit. Into the game for the first time is Damon Clapper, a junior. Nothing but upperclassmen on this DCG ball club. Henry comes to the line on the season, averaging about 12.5 points a game, 65% from the foul line. The first one on the way. Good. That's the first Oskaloosa free throw of the game. It's been pretty touchy at points, as the second foul shot good. 2 for 2 at the line for Henry, but I can't say this, it's been pretty even both ways.
Yeah, I don't have any beef with how it's going so far.
1:08 to go, second quarter, 26-16. DCG a 10-point lead in the basketball. Bornman to Grove, outside, over to Bornman, looking down low, ball tipped. Clapper eventually on the floor, gets it, and they'll bring it back out, but they're going to call 3 seconds as Tyler Cooney kind of got stuck in there while he had to retrieve that loose ball.
And that was an excellent call by the referee. A lot of times it's easy to start following the ball and not be watching where you should be, and the ref made a great call on that.
26-16, Oskaloosa dribbles into the front court. The duties of face guarding Spencer Tucker have now fallen on Tyler Cooney as the ball finds Cruz.
And DCG just gets a lot of hands on the ball.
Yates for 3 hits.
All right, there's our hottest player right now.
He's been left open twice, and he's buried him both times. He's got 8 points in the game. He also had a 2 in there. 30 seconds to go, and it'll likely see DCG run this one down. 26-19, they lead it, 7-point margin. Grove's got it outside with 20 seconds to go. We'll get it to Bornman, and he will indeed slow it down. Over to Brody Clean. 14. Clean, top of the key, guarded by Henry. It looks like they're going to clear it out for him. He's going to go on the drive, leaves it beautifully, and it is a charge.
That away.
It was an excellent decision by Cruz not to challenge the effort. Instead, sit there and take the contact, and he draws the charge, and he'll give it back to the Indians.
So what we're looking at is 26-19, 7.6 seconds left. This would be big for Oskaloosa.
Here's Yates. He'll dribble it up. 6 seconds to go. Crosses the timeline. Lobs it over to Henry. Henry, a floater. Can't get the roll, and Moore at the horn. Yes! That'll count. That'll count. Jack Moore on the rebound, puts it back up and in, and that will do it in the first half. Oskaloosa ends the half on a 7-0 run, and it's 26-21. We'll take a break. Come back with a halftime show after this on the No Coast Network.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities. Where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success. Where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots. Proud to be a part of a community that shares our values. And grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Lighton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Lighton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Lighton State Bank, serving you from Lighton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
My dearest sweetheart, I love you more than the flowers love the sun, more than peanut butter loves jelly, more than my mom loves sappy movies. But please, please do not get me another appliance for Valentine's Day. Make it easy and visit Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa. Pick me out a willow tree figurine, a bracelet or necklace from Da Vinci Beads, the perfect American greeting card, an adorable little plush animal, and a lot of Russell Stover chocolate. Nothing will prove your love to me more than a gift from Mahaska Drug. Go now, my sweet. Go to Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Time Out to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Howdy ho, it's halftime. It's 26-21. DCG leading Oskaloosa. Could have been worse. Oski closes the half on a 7-0 run. DCG's offense kind of stagnant in the last 3 or 4 minutes of that second quarter. Emery Songer, Doug DeCock, John Hurl. Doug, we'll start with you. Oskaloosa, again, kind of bled over from the Grinnell game, not being able to hit shots, but they started getting something going there. And a lot of it has to do with Spencer Tucker being face guarded. We talk a lot about Spencer Tucker not being able to score points, but in this case, he's actually being used more as a decoy, and Oskaloosa has been playing basically 4-on-4 in the half court because that defender that's on Tucker is not really interested in even looking where the ball is. How has that helped the Indians?
Well, it's helped in Ryan Yates and his length at the other guard position has been able to dribble up in close to the paint. He's also been able to pull up and hit some open threes. So I think Oskaloosa is happy with playing 4-on-4 with their height against DCG. We just got to make shots. I mean, like you mentioned, it was a continuation from the Grinnell game. Excuse me. But if we knock down shots, things look a lot better here.
John, I have a couple of questions for you. First question is, what are your thoughts about the defensive presence of Xavier Foster so far in this game? And secondly, how solid has Ryan Yates been really all season long?
We'll start off with Xavier. I mean, he completely changes the dynamic of the game. I mean, you almost can't dribble and try to score inside when Xavier Foster's in the game because he'll just swat you away. You know, he's very, very tall. He's made a couple freshman mistakes, but so far this game played very, very solid on D, a couple big-time blocks, and he had that one against Dewey. Dewey's a pretty undersized kid, so it was a pretty easy block for Xavier. And then on the other side, Ryan Yates, man, he seems to be the only guy that's been able to consistently hit his jumpers thus far for Oskaloosa, and he's doing a very, very good job. He's got 2 3-pointers that he was left wide open for, and he hit both of them. And he had one little kind of floater shot that he drove into the middle of the lane and was able to get off.
One place where Xavier, and he'll get better at this as he gets older, but DCG's doing a pretty good job of whoever he's guarding and going out and taking a 3-point. They hit 1 or 2 field goals. One was a 3-pointer against him. So Xavier's used to kind of lurking around in the lane area. If he's guarding a guy that can shoot, he's got to get out there a little bit quicker, but he does make a difference inside. There's no doubt about it.
All right, well, 2 things that we usually talk about being kind of factors in the way a game swings, fouls and turnovers. Each team has committed 5 turnovers so far in the first half. 9 Oskaloosa fouls, 8 DCG fouls. They have completely washed out, and we have ourselves a good ball game here. 26-21, DCG by 5. We'll take another break, come back with the third quarter of action. You're listening to Oskaloosa basketball and the game of the week right here on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
(26-21), Dallas Center-Grimes, 8th ranked in the AP poll. Oskaloosa just outside the rankings. They are the first team out of the top 10 in the AP poll. We got a good one brewing here. 26-21 DCG with the lead. It's Emery Songer along with my buddies Doug DeCock, Johnny Hurl, and you're listening to us live on 104.9 FM KBOE as part of our Game of the Week coverage this season. And you're also listening to us on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. All over the world, KBOEradio.com, RadioKMZN.com. Listening to us on the KBOE, KMZN mobile apps. We appreciate you no matter how you're listening to us. Sorry we couldn't get you video tonight. Dallas Center-Grimes High School couldn't get a secure internet connection, bogged down, decided that we were just going to make sure we got you good radio coverage. We are expecting to have this video of this game up sometime during the weekend, and we'll make sure to share that on our KMZN Facebook page and our KBOE 104.9 FM Facebook page. Anywho, we're getting ready for action. It is going to be DCG basketball to start this third quarter. They have a 5-point lead, 26-21. They're wearing their white home uniforms, trimmed in red. Mustangs across the chest, red numbers front and back, trimmed in red and black down the sides. Oskaloosa wearing their maroon uniforms, trimmed in white numbers front and back. Oskaloosa block letters straight across the front of the chest. On the side panels, they got some gray and white as well. They'll shoot at our left hoop here in the second half. It is Grove, Bourneman, Dewey out there along with Pride and Clean in the front court for the Mustangs. For Oskaloosa, it's Jack Moore, Tanner DeCock, Spencer Tucker, Cole Henry, and Jared Cruz. We're underway. Dribbling into the front court here, Steve Bourneman. It's over to Clean. Over to the top to Pride. Gives it to Bornman. Some motion offense here for the Mustangs. They'll set it back up with Bourne at the top of the key, guarded closely by Tanner DeCock. DeCock going to get screened off. Little pick and roll. Nice ball movement. Finds an open corner three for Dewey. Just a little off the mark, and there'll be a foul by Pride underneath the hoop as Cruz gathered the ball.
Well, Oskaloosa got a big break there. DCG had an easy lay-in, and he kicked it out,
yeah,
before he looked at the basket. So, and they missed the three. So Oskaloosa dodges a bullet early. We just got to get our energy level up. There's just no excitement right now. They got to find a way to motivate themselves.
Well, not saying this is a bad atmosphere, but we've seen a lot more hostile atmospheres for Oskaloosa this season. Not that the DCG crowd's not into it, as there's a blocking foul on Boardman on the drive by Moore. Quickly, 2 team fouls in the first 35 seconds called here on DCG. That's a second foul on Boardman.
Well, and the way they're calling it tonight, it's going to be hard for them to guard Jack because they're calling it tight on those dribble drives.
Jack does have 4 points in the game. Here's Henry into the lane. Grove got a piece of it, and they're going to say a jump ball. It'll stay with Oskaloosa. Grove, those arms, he looks like a mutant out there. And that's not a bad thing. He's just like, Giannis Antetokounmpo before he grew like 3 inches his rookie year for the Bucks. I mean, his hands and arms looked ridiculous next to his body. That kid's got some growing still left to do. Here's Henry again on the back down. Has nowhere to go. In fact, kicks it out through the arms of DeCock. Look at Grove go after the ball and knocks it out of bounds as DeCock was trying to gather it. So not only is he long, lanky, and odd looking, but he's not afraid to get those elbows dirty. Moore gets it to DeCock. Oski will get it back in the front court. Just over 7 minutes to go, third quarter. High post is Jack, working on Boardman, rises over him, shoots a high arcer, no good, rebound loose, and eventually gathered by Clean.
And DCG's just playing a man-to-man defense. Coach Parker, I know, expected them to play a lot more zone, and they're just playing man-to-man.
Sometimes your best tactic is having so many tactics you don't know which one to pull out from. Hard to scout. Here's Dewey. And he lobs it over to Bourneman. Gets it to Pride, top of the key. Finds Clean left wing. Lobs it for Bourneman on the post. Working on DeCock. Up, under. Cruz got a piece of it, and it gets stuck in the backboard. The jump ball
goes to DCG.
I'm giving credit Cruz a block there. And I can tell you this, Doug, Cruz's defense has been excellent around the rim today.
Yeah, he's affected about 3 shots now.
Playing good defense on Clean. Clean finds Grove on a cut, but he didn't have any room to do anything. They rotate it. Bourneman top of the key, in and out, and Henry will corral the rebound. He'll dribble it up himself. They can't get the press or any defense set as Henry hustles down. Look at the spin, up, under, can't get the ball to go down, and the rebound to Clean. He kind of went 1-on-4 there in the paint. Here's Pride quickly the other way. Rises before he gets, and Tucker the rebound. It was a good job by Tucker, or Tanner DeCock, as there's Henry fouled, and he gets the bucket to go. But it all started down there with Tanner DeCock's excellent work defensively. He stood there, and Pride, knowing he didn't want to draw a charge in a third foul, rose above him, kind of rushed a little 8-foot floater, missed the shot. Good outlet from Tucker, finding Henry, and he laid it in for 2, and Bourneman's third foul on the play.
Yeah, and that gets to our transition baskets, but you're right. Tanner was sitting down there waiting for a charge. He forced him to pull up. He missed the jumper. Spencer got it and got an outlet to Cole Henry.
There was a lot to say there. I'm glad I got it all in as Henry misses the free throw. Rebound pulled down by Grove, and a timeout called by DCG. Head coach Joel Rankin wants to talk it over. We'll keep it here. 26-23. This is the closest the Indians have been for a long time. They were down by as many as 12. This is just a continuation of what has become a 9-0 run since about a minute and a half left in the second quarter. Doug, Oskaloosa, you mentioned the energy level's not really there, but DCG on the offensive end, they can't really get anything consistent going either.
No, they can't, and I did say something about the energy. I think the longer we hang around in here, our energy level should pick up. I mean, I'd like to just see a little more enthusiasm. Our body language isn't real good right now.
26-23. DCG out of the timeout has the basketball, leading by just 3.
We'll see how they guard Spencer Tucker. If they don't face guard him, he might knock one down here pretty quick.
Inside of 6 minutes to play third quarter. Into the front court is Jordan Humphreys, who's going to have to play quite a bit with Bourneman now nursing a 3-foul situation. He's on the bench. Humphreys to Dewey at the top. Dewey puts it on the deck, working on Tucker. Takes him to the post, runs out of real estate though, gets it to clean. He'll take a 17-footer, no good. Henry, an uncontested rebound.
Coach Parker yelling push, and that's why right there.
Here's Cruz, and there's going to be a charge.
Oh, my.
Good effort by Pride to get down there, force the referee to make a decision, and that's the first foul on Oskaloosa here in the second half.
Yeah, I like to see that we're getting out and running a little bit. That's what we need to do. Tough call. I mean, that one could have went either way.
That's the second foul on Cruz. Remember, the first foul that he was called for was sketchy. It looked as though they called it out of bounds underneath the rim, but there was contact on the play. Didn't see a foul call ever called.
They got an offensive foul against Tanner on Humphreys.
Humphreys trying to go and clear out some space, and he runs into DeCock, and the teams now exchange offensive fouls, and that's already the fourth team foul on DCG, and we're not even 3 minutes left into this quarter. As into the game is Tanner Eppel replacing Dewey. As we mentioned, those two have been doing the exact same things on the defensive end of the floor. And we're back into a zone for DCG here.
And here's their 1-3-1 trap zone.
Here is DeCock, finds more.
Exactly what we got to do.
Henry, and he gets hooked to go.
Great job. Tanner took the ball, attacked the paint, kicked it to the baseline to Jack, and a pass over to Henry on the other side.
There's a blocking foul, Cruz, and here's now where that first weird foul comes into play as he picks up two pretty quick fouls. It'll force Foster to come into the game a little bit quicker here. That is the third foul on Cruz, but we'll keep marked that first foul back in the first half was a really sketchy call as Pride also exits for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that was just an out-of-bounds call. Both two guys going for the ball. I can't believe they called that a foul.
Well, it looked like the referees called it out of bounds as well. I don't know where the scoreboard got the foul call, but it is what it is. Oskaloosa knows what they're up against with it. Foster out there. Grove catch and shoot from the left wing. Long rebound, though, is loose. And Foster,
the X-Man with the big arms.
Look at those long go-go gadget arms pulling in that board. Lob pass finds Moore.
There we go.
Nice press break on the zone and a nice lay-in by Henry, and Oskaloosa has their first lead. Here is a tough shot clean off the glass. Wow. That's as good as it gets right there in traffic off the glass to give DCG a big hoop to retake the lead 28-27.
Oskaloosa really getting their running game going a little bit here.
Foster out to DeCock, out to Tucker, and he'll set up the offense. Just over 4 minutes to play third quarter. Oskaloosa erased a 12-point lead as part of a 13-0 run until that bucket there by Brody Clean. Henry to the top, rotated over to Tucker. Tucker well outside the left wing, finds Henry on a cut, tough shot, and he is fouled. And he is...
Sorry about that.
He is going to the line. He'll shoot two.
I got to stop doing that. I know I got a problem with calling the foul up here.
Clean picks up his second. That's already the fifth team foul on DCG. Oski only has two so far this half.
I don't know about the players, but my energy level's going up here.
Your energy, let's be realistic, your energy level's always up as Henry makes the first free throw. He's the only guy that's been to the line for the Indians. He's 3 for 4 at the free throw line. Game high, 11 points. 28 apiece. 3:55 to go third quarter. One more coming into the line for Cole Henry, the sophomore, lefty. In and out, but Foster the rebound, and he's fouled by Grove.
That's two shots.
For Grove, that's number 2, and it'll be 2 foul shots for Xavier Foster now. Now, Xavier, shooting is something he does well for the most part. 11 for 16 at the free throw line at 69%, but in-game shooting, just trying to find where his range really is. In and out, no good.
So Ryan Yates checks in for Tanner DeCock. Tanner did a good job, had a couple breaks that he led down there, went to Moore over to Henry. So good job by Tanner in the second half.
Lead for Oskaloosa as Foster makes the second, 1 out of 2 for him. 29-28 Indians, 3:50 to go third quarter. DCG without Bourneman, their normal point guard. He's on the bench with 3 fouls. Out there is Cooney along with Eppel, Grove, Humphreys, and Damon Clapper. Clapper's got it left wing, looking down low, finds Humphreys. Humphreys has it knocked away by Tucker, and he's got a steal. He's going up the floor, and he's challenging a bigger player, has it blocked, but gets it right back, and then takes it taken away. That's good work by Eppel, getting both the block and eventually the steal. Into the front court, Eppel over to Humphreys. Apple's got it. They get it into the corner. Now Cooney on the drive. Challenges Foster, and he gets it absolutely erased.
Yeah, they may have had a little luck early in the game, but they're the big fella's swatting them now.
That's the third block for Foster. I also have 3 blocks down for Jerry Cruz. Oh, nice inbounds play. Finds an open look, and that should count as well.
Gosh, that's goaltending.
Well, he knocked it actually into the hoop, did Xavier. So it would have gone in, goaltend, whatever. So it counts. The foul is on Moore. And it'll be an and one opportunity here for Tyler Cooney off the inbounds. We see a lot of beautiful inbounds plays, but right there, Oskaloosa had good recovery. 2 guys were there. It was the up fake by Cooney that got him enough space to get in there and get the harm and the hoop.
And it used to be a lot of teams wouldn't even play man underneath the hoop because of that. And if you're playing man, you cannot follow. You got to stay home.
The foul was on Jack Moore, his 3rd. He's out of the game now. Full court pressure now being shown by the Mustangs. Yates and Tucker play catch, tried to break the press. Long pass, nice find. Here's Foster for the jam.
Good job by the Indians. They knew they wanted to go cross court with that.
31-31.
Foster with the jam.
Humphreys got it. 2:45 to go, 3rd quarter. Here is Cooney. Cooney gets a screen from Clapper, and that's going to be a foul. Now, Foster is doing the best he can, but again, with a tight officiating crew, when you see contact, the offensive player goes to the ground, and it was on a hedge. More often than not, it's going to be called on the defensive player.
Well, I like his energy level being out there at least and hedging it instead of sitting back in the lane and a possible 3-pointer. So,
4th team foul on Oskaloosa, 2nd on Foster. 2.5 to go. They find an open look for Cooney. Hits. He's starting to heat up. Tyler Cooney all of a sudden with 6 quick points. 34-31 DCG. They break the press easily again. Moore doesn't see it, man from behind, and that's a steal for Tanner Epple. Didn't see him coming, and here come the Mustangs.
Well, obviously we can't hear, but people got to communicate on his teammates, got to communicate to him.
Here is Humphreys in Ryan Yates' face, no good. Left it short, the rebound to Tucker Nunikoven, and he's going to get pestered from all sides. Gets it to Yates, and he tried to get it to Foster. Good defensive job. Here's Tucker for 3.
Yeah, finally got him loose for a 3, and he hits it. Tie game at 34.
Timeout called. 32nd. We'll keep it here. 1:53 to go as the teams exchange baskets. As mentioned, we knotted up, John, but one thing that's been interesting is now both offenses are starting to kind of get clicking on both ends.
Yeah, in this game, a lot of the scoring's kind of come in spurts. It seems like every time Oskaloosa starts going a little bit of run, DCG will match it, and the points seem to be getting matched a lot, and that creates a really, really fun and interesting basketball game to watch. And man, this energy has really started to pick up late here in the 3rd group.
Well, I don't think it's any secret. When Oskaloosa pushes the ball or tries to run, they're a much more effective team offensively.
34-34. 1:53 to go, 3rd quarter.
Big shot from Tucker there to tie the game up.
It takes a couple of shots from him, and sometimes that's what it takes for the Indians to get going. It is 34-all. The offenses have awoken here. Last couple of minutes on both ends. Into the front court are the Mustangs. Brody Clean working on Foster. This is not a good matchup for Clean, but he continues to attack. Finds Clapper at the elbow, no good. Rebound Yates. It's a shot you'll live with if you're the Indians. Quickly ahead, gets it to Nunikoven, does Yates. A bump, another bump. Up. Can't get it to go. It's a foul. No basket, and Nunikoven will go to the line for 2.
What did we just do right there? Boom, boom, pass, shot, and away you go. Oskaloosa running the floor excellent right now.
The foul on Clapper. The ope you heard there from Doug is the fact that that ball hung on the rim and nearly went down for an and one, but Nunikoven will get 2 shots. First one up, no good.
Free throw shooting starting to become something that's affecting us here.
A little bit. Both teams have had a similar amount of free throw shots. In fact, the Indians have had a few more, but only 2 misses at the line for DCG. Now 4 misses at the line as a team for the Indians. Second one from Nunikoven on the way, and that's short. A long rebound eventually grabbed by Grove, so 0 for 2 there. 34 apiece. 1:25 to go, 3rd quarter, 34-all. Humphrey still running the point. A nice hedge there by Foster again. They get it to Grove, looking for Clean. Clean off glass. They found a way to get it to him after the hedge by Foster.
Well, Clean knew Foster was coming behind, and he got it up off the glass quick.
What a pass by Grove to set him up as well. 36-34, DCG, 1:05 to go, 3rd quarter. Tucker being guarded closely by Cooney. Gets it to Moore. Outside, top of the key. Foster to Nunikoven. Gets it to Yates, top of the key. He's got an open look for three. Hits.
Oh, is he on fire? Ryan Yates is feeling it tonight from the top of the key for his third three-pointer of the game.
He's got 11, and it's 37-36 Oski by 1 with 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. Humphreys leaves it for Clean. Little weave action, leaves it for Cooney. Cooney back to Humphreys, and they're going to try to kill some time here, maybe take the last shot of the quarter. Here's Grove, left wing. Now he's going to attack Moore. Up, and he traveled. Indeed he did.
Good call, Emery. I can't believe you're calling fouls and travelings before they even happen.
You know what? After watching enough basketball in my day, I've been around a little bit, Mr. DeCock.
I'm poking fun at myself there because usually I'm the one doing that.
It's all good. 37-36, 22 seconds left. Maybe the Oskaloosa Indians can maybe get themselves the last shot of the quarter. Here's Foster, top of the key, over to Cruz, who's back in. Cruz to Yates, top of the key, and he traveled. No.
Offensive screen.
He'll get called. They're going to call Foster, who tried to open up it was the same play, but Foster, both hands on a guy, tried to open him up, and that's the third foul on Foster off the bench. So Foster, Moore, and Cruz all playing with 3 fouls for the Indians. 12 seconds left now, 37-36. Last shot opportunity for the Mustangs here. 7 seconds now. Humphreys in the front court. Pick and roll. He's got Grove. He's got it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. 25-footer off the mark. And that's the end of the quarter as Yates fires it down there. No good. And that will do it. We got a good one brewing here in Grimes. Oskaloosa leads DCG 37-36. We'll head to the fourth after a short break here on the No Coast Network.
Lighton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Lighton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Lighton State Bank, serving you from Lighton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
My dearest sweetheart, I love you more than the flowers love the sun, more than peanut butter loves jelly, more than my mom loves sappy movies. But please, please do not get me another appliance for Valentine's Day. Make it easy and visit Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa. Pick me out a willow tree figurine, a bracelet or necklace from Da Vinci Beads, the perfect American greeting card, an adorable little plush animal, and a lot of Russell Stover chocolate. Nothing will prove your love to me more than a gift from Mahaska Drug. Go now, my sweet. Go to Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa.
We begin the fourth quarter. Oskaloosa basketball shooting at our left basket, leading by 1, 37-36 to DCG. Jared Cruz out there, Jack Moore, Ryan Yates, Spencer Tucker. He's in the corner. Thought about the shot, instead gets it back to Yates. It's also Xavier Foster in the game. Moore, Cruz, and Foster all out there playing with 3 fouls each.
So they're not face guarding Tucker now. They're playing it normal. We'll see if Spencer can get loose.
Here's Moore, and he drives, charge. And that was kind of the Moore we saw last year. Just a lot of times put that head and shoulder down and drew the contact. And you're not going to get a lot of calls when the guy on the bottom is stepping in on the post, trying to take that contact, and he'll come out to cock back in.
That's 4 on Jack, and that you could just see that coming. You're right. That was the old Jack Moore. If he just rises up, he doesn't get a charge there.
7.5 to go in regulation. 37-36. DCG trailing by 1 with the basketball, shooting at our right basket. Trent Pride over to Bourneman, who's back, and he's playing with 3 fouls. He's got it, top of the key. He's out there with Dewey. Grove's got it. Thought about the open look, and he traveled.
Boy, there's a lot of that going on tonight. That same move. A guy's open. He actually looks at the shot and then pulls it down, but he travels.
The thought I have right now, so this entire second half, the teams basically exchanged. Whenever one thing happens on one end, the same thing happens on the other end. Both teams looking like mirror images of each other here in this second half.
This is a conventional looks like a 2-3 zone is what they're running right now.
They have Tucker to the top, gets it over to Yates. Yates over to DeCock.
Coach Parker may look to use a timeout here to make sure they're doing the right thing.
DeCock kind of slices and dices. Tucker, he'll take a fake, then shoot it.
Oh, beautiful pump fake from Tucker to have the guy fly by, and he knocks the 3 down.
It's a second big shot of the game. And it's 40-36, biggest lead for the Indians. Cole Henry at the scorer's table. He'll check in next dead ball. Pride over to Bourneman. Bourneman looking. Skip pass finds Clean. Clean not a huge outside threat, and he'll just give it to Bornman to reset. Plenty of time. 6:20 to go fourth quarter. Here's Clean. Over to Pride. Pride will take a 3 right wing. In and out. It almost happened again. Rebound to Jared Cruz. Cruz, you won't believe this, has not scored in the game.
And we're up 4.
Imagine that. Here's Cruz. Makes a hard catch, then hooks it. Has it blocked by Clean. Rebound Grove. A lot of blocks in this game, and there's going to be a foul on the drive. Grove attacked immediately, and it'll be a 1-and-1. Both teams are in the 1-and-1 situation now. Tucker picks up his second. Both teams have 17 fouls. Humphreys into the game, replaces Trent Pride. Henry in the game replaces Cruz. Cruz with 3 fouls and no points in the game. Hasn't even really gotten that many looks. Here is Grove, a 1-and-1. 2 for 3 at the line tonight. Makes the first. He's got 8 points. He started off like a ball of fire, but it's really kind of slowed down here, although he has been passing it well. He's got 5 rebounds and 4 assists to go along with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Second one up, and that's long, but Humphreys, nope, DeCock takes the rebound away. Into the front court come the Indians. Tucker, guarded by Dewey. Over to Yates, and they've now gone back into the man-to-man. Foster over to Henry on the right wing, outside the arc, gets it to DeCock, back to Tucker. Tucker, a pump fake, finds Yates, top of the key, over to DeCock. DeCock now will get it way back out to the top. Good defense here in the man-to-man by the Mustangs.
Good patience by the Oskaloosa offense, making DCG work a little bit here on defense.
Here's Foster. His pass is tipped by Grove and then taken away. All the way, a lot of contact, no foul call, the ball will go in, and Grove gets the offensive board and puts it in. He's in double figures with 10. And it's now 40-39, Indians by 1 with the basketball. 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Another bad pass, this one from Yates, but recovered by Tucker, and Indians keep possession. Here's Henry.
Offense.
Yep, indeed. He got that little push off on the off arm. That was an easy call from here. And Clean draws the contact. It's the 10th turnover for Oskaloosa as they start to mount a little bit here. They've had 3 in the first 3 minutes of this particular quarter.
Yeah, they come in bunches, it seems like. Got to settle down here. 1 point lead for the Indians. What do we expect? Anything less?
I don't think so.
I got a little bug in my throat here.
I forgive you.
Johnny Hurl's there to pick me up.
He does. Clean working on Henry. Grove underneath working on Cruz. Had a good defensive game, but that's just too good right there. He rises above him and hits, and DCG retakes the lead 41-40. 4.5 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Tucker outside, over to DeCock. Cruz back in the game at that left side ball, replaced Foster. Cruz has got it in the right wing. And looking to try to get Yates, he does. 12-footer, good.
Oh, is he iced tonight? That was my nickname for him as a kid. George the Iceman Gervin.
And what's interesting there is that's a heck of a screen by Cole Henry to free him up. And a good pass from Cruz. Teams exchange the lead. Outside, they find Dewey well outside the arc, over to Grove. Grove will take a 3, right wing, left it short. Rebound Humphreys, working on Yates, up fake, over him, scores. What a job by Humphreys off the bench. And again, the lead changes back to DCG, 43-42.
Offensive rebound hurts the Indians there.
3:45 left, fourth quarter. Here's Henry, left wing, thought about the 3. Now will drive, working on Grove. Nice spin move, blocked by Grove, but they're going to call a foul on Clean. And it'll be 2 shots for Henry.
Well, great job by Henry setting that up. You could see him going right, and he spins back with a quick spin back to his left and try to lay it off the glass. If I'm Coach Parker, I'm looking at possibly using a timeout here pretty quick. Make sure you got your best lineup in there.
Henry at the line to shoot 2. It was a clean block by Grove, but on the body was the foul as Henry makes the first free throw. And the foul was on Clean, his 3rd, team's 8th. Both teams 8 team fouls. It has been pretty tight at times, Doug, but for the most part, they've kept it pretty down the middle.
Yep, this has been a good ball game as far as the officiating goes.
Second one up and good. 2 swishes for Henry, and again, the Indians take the lead, 44-43.
Henry with 11 on the night now.
The seesaw battle continues here in Grimes. Here's Grove. Gets it to Dewey. Dewey. And time called by the Mustangs.
Okay.
I believe we're going to have a full timeout. We will take a quick break. 3:25 to go, fourth quarter. Oskaloosa clinging to a 1-point lead, 44-43. Be back after a quick timeout right here on the No Coast Network.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
44-43, Oskaloosa by 1 out of the timeout. John, the Indians have themselves in a spot where they can get another road victory in conference play. Had a lot of these close ones, but haven't been able to close them out. What do they have to do to get this done?
Oh, this is so important. In order to close this game out, we're going to have to continue to score on the offensive end. You know, you talk a lot about defense protecting that 1-point lead, but I think we got to go and continue to get a couple more buckets on offense to really put this game away. 1-point lead is nothing to hold on to, really, and so, yes, we do have to have tight D, but we also need to score.
Emery Songer, Doug DeCock, along with Johnny Harrell. 5 minutes till the top of the 9 o'clock hour. DCG basketball down 1 with 3:20 to go, fourth quarter. 44-43 Indians. Here's Grove for the Mustangs with it outside the arc on the left wing. Over to Bornman, Steve Bornman. Humphreys, top of the key, 3. Can't get the roll. Henry the rebound. He'll push it. DCG, good transition defense, gets everybody back, and they'll have to reset. Here's Henry. Now he's going to try to take Grove off the dribble. Rises over him. Tough shot. Gets the roll.
Ooh, that one trickled on the front of the rim and dropped back in, much like that shot that fell off the other little bit ago.
Henry with 15 to lead the way for the Indians, and they are back up to a 3-point lead, 46-43. Here's Bornman all the way. Draws contact on Yates, and it'll be a 2-shot foul as he couldn't quite get the lane to go. Good attack. Bornman has not played a ton in this second half with the 3 fouls. He has been running the point for them when he's been out there, so that's an important piece to them, and I think we'll see him out there the rest of this game. He's going to go to the line for 2. That was a second foul on Yates. First one up, and it's good from Bornman. His 3rd point of the game. He's averaging 13 points a game, so, I mean, that's a huge piece that they've been missing in this game.
Okay, so Oskaloosa's got more checks in for DeCock, Cruz, Henry, Yates, and Tucker on the floor now.
Bornman has one more on the way, and it's good. 2 for 2 at the line from Bornman. He's just got 4 in the game, but it's back to 1. Oski 46, DCG 45 with 2:40 to go, fourth quarter. Tucker dribbles into the front court, gets a screen from Henry. He gets it over to Moore, over to Henry again at the top of the key, and he is going to get a foul whistle on him by Brody Clean, and it's a 1-and-1.
Fellas, this could come down to free throw shooting here.
Oskaloosa has not thrived in those situations. See Norwalk. Lost by 1 point and shot 50% from the foul line. It'll be a 1-and-1 here for Henry. The first one on the way. Good.
And he looked confident. He's looked confident tonight shooting the ball. Both teams with 9 team fouls, so next foul will be double bonus for either team.
Second one up, and that's off the back iron, but Cruz the rebound, keeps it on this end for the Indians. Gets it back to Henry, leaves it short on the lane on the drive, and the rebound by Grove. He's got 7 of those. 47-45, Oskaloosa by 2. Cross-court pass finds Humphreys. He pump fakes, drives in, kicks it out. Bornman open, right wing 3, good. They've been missing him. Good creation by Jordan Humphreys, and it's now a 1-point DCG lead with 2:04 to go. Tucker over to Henry, top of the key. Sorry, Doug.
Well, it looked like number 2 was almost throwing an elbow there.
Here's a nice move, a spin move by Cole Henry. He's got 17. This is the Cole Henry we saw the first week of the season.
Yes, sir. He is taking the game over. He wants the ball, and he's going to the hole.
Here are the Mustangs in the front court. Grove, high post, leaves it for Bornman, right wing. 100 seconds left in the game. There's going to be a foul on the floor as Yates got beat by a half step and tried to stay with him, but too much body contact. That's his 3rd foul, and it'll be 2 free throws now for Steve Bornman, who's now starting to try to create for himself after being almost shut out this entire game.
Yeah, and it's a tough matchup for Yates. You know, the foot speed.
Bornman makes the first.
Bornman was able to get a step on him.
Bornman on the season, 69% from the line. They have guys who are good free throw shooters, but they have enough guys that are bad at free throws that they're only 62% from the line on the season. No good from Bornman on the second, right when I say that. Henry the rebound.
It's all tied up at 49 with 1:35 left.
Here's Tucker. Tucker dribbles, gets it to Yates, right corner three, just long, and the rebound pulled down by Dewey. It was just long. It was right on line, though. Here's Humphreys. He'll take a left wing three deep, way short. That was from way downtown.
And we will take that. Break for Oskaloosa. Yates had a nice-looking shot.
Timeout, Oskaloosa. We'll keep it here with 1:14 to go. Go ahead, Doug.
Excellent timeout by Coach Parker there. Yates had a nice release. The ball just didn't fall for him. We want him to keep shooting that. 49-49, Oskaloosa basketball. And like I said, I think this is a good timeout. We need to know exactly what we want to do here.
Oski still has 2 timeouts left. DCG has 3, so neither team's really hurting in that department. John, we mentioned what it's going to take for these guys to keep it close, but with Jared Cruz not having scored a single point in this game, it's nice to see Cole Henry with an 18-point performance.
Oh, definitely. We're looking at the Cole Henry of old. You know, Cole's playing like he did earlier.
You say that, and this kid's halfway through his sophomore season.
Cole's playing really well, similar to how he did earlier in the season. Cole, and those shots, we've said it all year long, Cole puts himself in a good position, and he puts up good shots, and Cole's got great moves. He's probably the best, as far as our big men go, he's probably the best in terms of moves, and it's good to see that the shot's falling now, and he's showing that he can take over a game if he needs to.
We talk about the offense is really starting to click in the second half, but the scoring isn't all that impressive. Oskaloosa 16 third-quarter points. So far, they have 12 fourth-quarter points with a minute plus to go. And DCG, they had 10 points in the third quarter, and so far they have 13 points in the fourth quarter. So even though the offenses look a little bit cleaner, it's not as though these teams are running each other out of the gym here. Out of the timeout, it's Tucker with basketball for the Indians. Dewey trying to run through a screen, didn't get a call. Here is Moore. Moore rises, shoots over Bornman off glass, no good. Rebound pulled down by Brody Clean.
Well, Dewey's trying to steal a call is what he's doing.
Not getting it, though.
For a moving screen.
49 all, DCG basketball, 50 seconds to go in regulation. Another tight ball game here in the Little Hawkeye. Here's Dewey. Over to Clean, and DCG, I think they're going to be content to run some clock here and get a good shot without leaving Oskaloosa much time. Dewey's going to drive on Tucker, and they're going to get him a tough foul call there for Tucker. That's his third, and that'll be free throws for Dewey. On the season, Dewey 10 for 14 at the line. 39.4 seconds left. At least Oskaloosa knows they'll have plenty of time to get their own shot on the other end. Dewey's going to try to knock down a couple of free throws here. First one tonight, on the way. The lefty, long.
Now, if you're Oskaloosa, I think you maybe dribble it up. You use another timeout, figure out exactly what you want to do. They may run the clock. If he misses this, I'd run the clock and get the ball to Cole Henry.
Still tied at 49. Second free throw up from Dewey. No good as well, but the rebound pulled down by Bornman. Bornman with the board, and they're going to call timeout DCG. That hit the back of the rim in the perfect spot to where it wasn't an easy rebound, even with position down low, and Bornman was able to rise up and make the rebound. And with 34.5 to go in regulation, we are still tied 49 all and DCG basketball. So now, gentlemen, I'll start with you, Doug. Now, how do you defend this? Because with 34 seconds left, it is realistic DCG could run this thing all the way down and take one final shot.
And they probably will, is my guess. They're gonna either go to overtime or they're gonna win it. Once again, I don't know if I sub Tanner in for Spencer Tucker here on the defensive end. It gives you a little bit better defensive player right now. So we'll see what he does. A tough break on that. The ball hit the back of the rim. It's just an unlucky break. It bounced out about 12 foot and over our guy's head.
John, what do you think?
You know, that is a tough break on that rebound. But here, Oskaloosa, you know, you got to play really, really solid defense and you can't foul here because otherwise you send them to the line for easy shots at the free throw line, and then you're going to get the ball back, but you might not hit that shot.
34.5 to go. Mustang basketball, tie game, 49 all. Just past the top of the hour. Thanks for listening. You're listening to the No Coast Network on 104.9 FM KBOE, 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. And immediately a foul is called as Cruz, Coach Parker's reaction, he wanted him to crowd, but I don't think he wanted him to foul. But with 32.3, it'll be free throws for Bornman. Coach Parker's not happy about what just happened.
I'm not sure if it's that or he wanted him to foul number 30 when he had the ball.
Anyways, it's a 4th on Cruz. First free throw from Borman is no good. My goodness. I'm talking about free throws costing you here.
Holy cow.
Well, again, the silver lining at this point, knowing he missed one already, is the fact that
you can win the game.
You could win the game with the basketball and still a half minute to go.
But we got to get the rebound here.
Borman's second on the way. Good. Oskaloosa gonna have full court pressure just on Tucker, and he'll dribble it up. 50-49, DCG by 1, 25 seconds to go. Here's Tucker. He'll go on the drive. Now pull it back out. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Now he gets into the middle, gets it to Henry. Henry runs over a guy, no call, ball loose, finds Jack Moore, and he's fouled. On the floor. Wow. Ooh, you had 2 whistles. Potentially you could have got Henry for a charge, could have got Henry on a travel. Instead, he finds a way to get it to Moore, and they call the foul on Humphreys, and now it'll be 2 shots for Jack Moore at the line for a chance to take the lead with 16.1 to go. The first foul shot on the way from Jack Moore, the senior. Off the mark. Hit the front of the rim, roll to the side, and just tapered off. Henry will exit, Tucker will exit. It's Foster and DeCock into the game for rebounding and defensive purposes. Now Moore needs to make this just to tie. Places as loud as it's been all night here. Couple dribbles and the shot. Good. Clutch free throw from the senior, and timeout called by Coach Ryan Parker. A full timeout with 16.1, and we are tied. This, unless a turnover or a foul from Oskaloosa, will put Dallas Center-Grimes in a spot to run the clock down and try to get themselves a W. Doug, how do you defend this? We see now that it's Foster and DeCock that are now in the game, along with Yates, Cruz, and Moore. What do you think defensively the Indians try to do?
Well, first of all, I like that. We have our 5 best defenders out there on the floor to for this last 16 seconds, I think. You got to be careful. I mean, I look for DCG to possibly dribble drive and try to get that hand check foul that they've been calling all night. We'll have to see what happens. And now Nunakoven's going to check in.
I think he's going to get more.
Or Yates.
Or Yates, yeah. I think it's the Yates actually he gets. So instead of Yates, it'll be Nunakoven that gets a little more foot speed out there. But, John, what do you expect Dallas Center-Grimes on their end to do?
Well, obviously they're going to hold it and try to get the last shot. You look for him to probably go to Groves here with this last shot. He is their leading scorer. He's been kind of the guy. He was really big in the first quarter. He's kind of tapered off, but I would bet on Groves if they're going to get it to a guy for the final shot.
You could go with Clean or Borman as well. They both had good second halves. Tied at 50. And full court pressure shown by the Indians with 16.1 to go.
Foster needs to stay. I think he needs to just sit back in the lane and be ready to swat something.
Here's Borman dribbling it up. 12 seconds to go. DCG a chance to win the game here before overtime. 50 all. Here's Clean. 8 seconds to go. He's going to attack Cruz. Tough shot. Off glass, scores! Timeout Oskaloosa. 2.1 to go.
Well, I think they might put some time back on the clock. That was a prayer that went in off the glass.
What a shot by Brody Clean. Now 12 points in the game. They're going to talk, all the officials are going to talk at most. You're probably going to get 3.5 seconds. And Yates and Spencer Tucker are going to check in. 52-50. DCG now a 2-point lead. It'll be 2.4 they put on the clock, but I mean, in high school ball, you have to go the length of the floor anyways. This is your hook and ladder type play. You're probably trying to set Tucker up for, realistically, Cruz, Foster, Yates, Henry, and Tucker all can make a deep three.
I think you get the ball to Foster about half court. You set Spencer down here to come off of a screen and then chunk her up from 3. You've got time to catch it, pass it, and shoot it.
It's 3.2 actually they put on the clock, so they give them a full extra second. 52-50, DCG by 2. A 2 would tie it. A 3 would win it, but it's going to take a really good long pass out of the backcourt here. And it's going to probably have to travel 50 or 60 feet for Oskaloosa to have a realistic shot at trying to tie this game.
Let's give the refs some credit on that. This
Absolutely.
game wasn't going to end on a foul that was initiated, contact initiated by the offensive guy. Good job by them. He just hit a heck of a shot.
Excellent shot off glass. Here we go. It is Henry who's going to inbound. He's a quarterback for the football team, and we'll see what they do. Timeout, DCG. DCG wants to talk about what they were seeing, and they have 2 more they can burn as well. So we might see if Oskaloosa comes out with something different. Now, they had Tucker in the backcourt, but it looked as though, you have a couple of big targets in Cruz and Foster, Doug, that you might try to come draw out, kind of like a comeback route in football. They make the catch, and then you have Tucker sprinting down the floor to maybe catch the lateral, if you will.
Yeah, those of you that remember the Valpo game years ago in the NCAA, you catch it about half court, and you got a guy sprinting along that sideline, and you just chuck it out to him and hope for the best. I'd bring Foster to the midcourt line, catch the high pass, have Spencer sprinting up the sideline, and there you go. Foster can shoot threes too. Arguably, he's
right, but I don't think you have enough time to make an adjustment here. You either catch it and get that pass off, or you catch it and look to try to shoot. You can't have time to make a decision between the two. Here we go.
There it is.
There, the pass is off the mark, knocked out of bounds, but it works for Oskaloosa because it's knocked out of bounds off clean, and it'll be Indian basketball with 2.2 left at the half-court line. Oski has no timeouts left, so now they're going to have to adjust what they had just drawn up. It is Yates who will inbound with 2.2 left. A 2 will tie, a 3 will win for Oskaloosa. Timeout DCG.
Which might be to the benefit of Oskaloosa.
Absolutely.
To set up a set play here. A little surprised that DCG did that, so Oskaloosa can go in and draw something up for last second shot.
Well, I think Joel Rankin's thinking if they're going to beat us, I'm going to make sure I had a chance to talk to my team before that. So out of timeouts both ways. They actually just took off an extra timeout, so they had the timeout count wrong. But both teams out of timeouts. John, you're in the Oskaloosa huddle. Who is the guy that you're thinking is going to take this last shot? And is it a 2 or a 3?
Well, you play to win the game, Emery. I'm going to shoot the 3 here. I think you play to win the game, unless obviously they are giving you a 2. You're going to try to get the 3-pointer here, and I probably have. I mean, how can you not have Spencer Tucker shoot it?
All right. What do you think, Doug?
Well, it's going to be hard to get. They're going to be all over Spencer. You might look for Cruz. Cruz is a good 3-point shooter. Foster is out of the game right now.
It is Yates, Tucker, Cruz, Henry, Moore. Those are your 5 for Oskaloosa. 2.2 left. Enough time for a catch, a dribble, and a shot. Yates to inbound. Coming and getting the ball is Moore. Moore dribbles, rises, 3-point shot! No good off the back iron, and that is how the game will end. Brody Clean will get credit for a game winner and another heartbreaking defeat in conference play for the Oskaloosa Indians. Final score, 52-50. Dallas Center-Grimes holds serve on their home floor. We'll take a break and be back with the post-game show after this right here on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
At the horn, Dallas Center-Grimes 52, Oskaloosa 50 with 3.4 seconds to go in the game. A running leaner by Brody Clean, a guy who averages 9 points a game, had a good one tonight. He had himself 12 points, including the game winner. Jack Moore got a decent look off at the horn, rose up, tried a three-pointer to win the game, but hit back iron, and the Indians unfortunately fall in another close Little Hawkeye Conference game, 52-50. If you're counting, you got yourself 4 games recently after the holiday break. Norwalk a loss on the road by 1, Pella at home a loss by 1, Grinnell on Tuesday by 4, and this game here on the road by 2. Between those 4 conference losses, Oskaloosa has been outscored by only 8 points. They also had a close game against Indianola in which they won 65-60. But Doug, at some point, these losses, they're adding up right now. How tough is it to be in a locker room like that and keep talking about how close you guys have gotten without coming away with one of these W's?
Well, it's tough. There's no doubt those guys are disappointed in that locker room right now. This was not an easy trip to come up here and play a very good DCG team. You know, I thought we got on track a little bit in the second half and got things going again. You know, you're looking at it losing a game by 2 points where your leading scorer scores 0.
0 points on the game for Jared Cruz. Kind of played with foul trouble, but again, this is my theory. You're not going to be able to get 15, 20-point outings out of both Cole Henry and Jared Cruz in a game, and this is the best game Cole Henry's played in a while by himself. So when you're looking at this right now, the item of my concern is the fact that one of your 2 bigs has a good game at all costs, and one of your 2 bigs absolutely had a good game in this one. Jared Cruz still made a difference. He had 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He also had 3 blocks defensively, the best defensive game maybe he's played all season. The other part of this that I have a hard time with is Oskaloosa only found a way for 5 guys to score a bucket in this game. You know, Tucker Nunnikova and these guys are defensive players first, but a couple of missed free throws by Nunnikova. Henry missed 3 free throws, but was 6 for 9. That's still right around his average on the season. I don't know where it comes from, but it's getting frustrating for this team. It's getting frustrating for me. I'm not a part of the team. I'm just watching and I'm explaining what's happening. I can tell you this. Losing by 1, 2, 4 points every single conference game, that's wearing on me. What are those guys feeling in the locker room, John?
I mean, as much as everybody's going to say, you know, that was a good game, you only lost by 1, this is tough conference, you want to win, man. You know, you're getting sick and tired of playing these teams so tough, and you're playing in a tough conference, and you're young for the conference, and you know you want to win the game. You know, they're moral victories. They're not really victories, and you want to win, and you want to see Oskaloosa put a couple wins in the record books. You know, it's tough. It's really tough.
Well, guys, I can tell you this: Oskaloosa will not be happy at 8-6, and they're going to try to go to Newton. And Newton was one of the few teams that actually kind of put it to them, and got a decisive win over Oskaloosa in Oski earlier this season. We'll see what head coach Bill Lively and his Cardinals have in store for the Indians. That's our next broadcast for Oskaloosa. That is next Tuesday in Newton. So make sure that you join us for that one. We expect to have live video up and running for that one in Newton as well. But for the time being, I'd like to thank Kenny Jones, doing a great job back in our our No Coast Network studios. I'd like to thank my entire crew, our entire crew here live at Dallas Center-Grimes High School. We expect to have video up sometime this weekend, so make sure that you check it out on our Facebook pages on KMZ and also KBOE 104.9 FM. For my partners, John Hurl, Doug DeCock, unfortunately, Oskaloosa had a long night at Dallas Center-Grimes. The DCG girls defeat Oskaloosa 74-34, and on the boys' side, it is DCG winning with 3 seconds left. A game winner by Brody Clean, 52-50. They defeat Oskaloosa here in Grimes. For the whole crew, this has been Emery Songer for the Game of the Week and Oskaloosa basketball, and you heard it right here on the No Coast Network.
This has been Oskaloosa basketball on your home for the Indians. 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and all over the world at RadioKMZN.com. Also on 104.9 FM KBOE and all over the world at KBOERadio.com. Oskaloosa versus Dallas Center-Grimes in boys and girls basketball has been presented by Brown Shoe Fit Company, Fairway Stores, Mahaska Bottling Company, Mahaska Drug, Craig Ford, Slumberland Furniture, William Penn University, Bank Iowa, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Pella Printing, Wendell Campbell State Farm Insurance, The Satellite Guy, Pella Regional Health Center, Bruxford's Decorating Center, Community First Credit Union, Musco, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Penn Central Mall, Cloud Valve Company, Lighton State Bank, Dr. Tom Bowie, Robert Ald Investments, Hawkeye Real Estate, Gardner Collier Jewelry, Fred's Muffler Shop, and TD&T Financial Group. This has been Oskaloosa basketball versus Dallas Center-Grimes on your home for the Indians. 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and all over the world at RadioKMZN.com. Also on 104.9 FM KBOE and KBOERadio.com. This has been a production of No Coast Network.